Hi, I'm Alexi. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Today I'm going to show you how to hang a shelf by yourself, which can be hard, so let's get started. So for this shelf that I'm hanging, I am using supplies from IKEA. I'm happy to link them in the description below for you. Just a white shelf, and I'm using these really cute wooden brackets because it kind of matches the aesthetic of my room. Make sure you have a drill and screws that will fit into the holes that come pre-drilled in these brackets. You'll also want a level and a stud finder so you can make sure to find those studs, drill into them really good, and then make sure your shelf is level. So let's get started. First things first, after you've decided where you want your shelf to go, you first need to find the studs. So take your stud finder and start from the outside edges to figure out where your studs are, and then you'll want to lift up your shelf to make sure that your shelf can fit the span of the studs. If it doesn't, then you'll have to go in one other set of studs. I already checked that and I didn't show it on this film, but I knew that my studs where my studs were would fit my shelf. Then what you want to do is mark the top of one side of the shelf with your level. Draw another line to make sure that you have a line of where your shelf needs to go, just using your level. You can draw like a straight line all the way across if you want to. I opted to just create like small marks. Then you're gonna take the screw that fits through the pre-drilled hole in the bracket and just make an imprint on the wall so you know where your top hole is gonna go. Then you're gonna take your level and just line it up on the side of your bracket so you can mark the second hole exactly where the bottom hole is going to be. And this is the simplest way of hanging these shelves, is just to put them directly into the studs. You'll see that my shelf brackets don't perfectly line up in the end with my shelf, but that's because I wanted to hang this shelf as easily as possible and show you that the strongest way of hanging a heavy shelf will be just directly into the studs. So that was a compromise I was willing to make. So make an imprint on the first top hole and then push it through on the bottom hole so that you know exactly where to drill your bracket into. And then you're just gonna repeat the steps on the left bracket as well, making sure that where you put your top hole is aligned with the original line that you marked with your level so you know where to put your shelf. Next, you'll just take your first bracket and drill it right into the first top hole that you put with your first bracket. You should know exactly where to put it, and it's right into the studs as well. So after you drill in the top screw of the bracket, then you'll just drill the bottom screw into the bottom of the bracket, and you'll repeat that on the left hand side as well. I knew I wanted to put some really heavy glass frames onto these shelves, so I opted to drill right into my studs so I would have security that it would hold that weight and whatever else I would want to put on my shelf in the future. The downside is that my brackets ended up not being perfectly aligned within the space between my windows, but I was okay with that because I knew that it was going to be able to hold enough weight. Now, if that is not okay with you, the only change you would make on one of these brackets is to drill into the drywall using drywall anchors. And pretty much for that, all you'd need to do is drill a small hole where the top bracket would go and hammer in your anchor first. And then the other steps would be the same, where you just drill into the anchor instead of into the stud. So that's the only change you would make if it's important to you to have your brackets centered on the wall. And then all you have to do is put your shelf onto the brackets. You can just measure your shelf to make sure that it's in the right place before you drill it into your brackets if you need to do that. And you're done. Then you can just decorate it and put whatever you want on top of the shelves. I put some frames on top of my shelves and I'll show you what that looks like. So excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a fun, easy, different video that I'm hoping to do more like this in the future. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up.
Comment below if the brackets bug you. I want to hear if it's something that bugs you, and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't subscribed. I have some awesome videos coming up soon. So have a great day. See you guys.